Sorry.
Hello. Oh, Eric is here. Hello, Eric. Okay, welcome to another unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Island. With Gatsby deep diving queen raae and her Nattermob pirate! All the navigator!
Hello.
And Ulavia!
Woo!
Hello, Ula.
Hello!
And we might even get an appearance by Pirate Princess Lillian at some point.
Oh.
We'll see.
So it's adding links today, is it?
Yes, that's what we're doing today.
Are you guys going to kind of show us, like in the beginning, a sort of demo so that we understand what you're doing?
I don't know if there will be a demo, but we will. I will pull you
Will you make us a
down.
visual of what we're making?
Yeah, we haven't. We
No,
haven't. We've
but
been
in
talking
our
about
heads, a visual
in our heads.
heads.
I can explain what we're going to be doing. So, and for the people watching in replay, there is now a newsletter that you can sign up for in the description, and we will send you information about new streams and maybe in the future some Gatsby related content. But so that's in the description, and if you're very lucky, there's even timestamps from when we're doing what in this stream if you're watching this in the replay. But yes, let's talk about what we're going to do. So this is our lovely site at the moment. It says Nattermob.dev. And what we want to do here is that we would like to get the videos that we sourced 2 streams ago on the page here. And that's usually called an index page or an archive page. So we want all of them kind of listed out on this site because we already have the pages for individual videos made. So we'll link it up from this front page, index page, archive page, kind of what you want to call it, link it up to the actual video pages. And then from the video pages, we want to link up to YouTube.
So that I can use my little mouse pen and click to see the videos. Is that the plan? Yes.
That is the plan.
All right.
So we'll just start coding, I guess. If anybody is watching, please retweet and stuff like that and get some more people to join us today. And we love it when you interrupt us in the chat or just have completely different conversations in the chat. Okay. Are you ready, Paul?
I am. Yeah. Let's start with just spin up the dev server for the moment, and when it's loaded in the browser, just go to let's just go to the 404 page to begin with.
So my keyboard wasn't working, but now it is. Okay. You wanted to spin up the page, npm run, develop, and then we'll have a look at all our npm run. Oh, we should definitely do our own alias there and do npm rum. Not drinking rum, but a non-alcoholic ginger beer today.
I'm on the alcohol, so this could get a little bit edgy a bit later. Let's see how it goes.
So this is our local dev, and I've learned now that if you just do something and you get the 404 page, the Gatsby develop server will give us this handy thing here. And this is, I guess, today's video. Session 4. No, that's the next one. It's not on here because we are session 3, but this was last week's.
Yeah. So I guess that 404 page is effectively a list of links, and that's what we're going to put on the index page so that you don't have to go to a 404 to actually navigate to these individual pages.
And also when you're on the production, if you get to the 404 page, you actually get a 404 page. You're not getting these listings.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we will at some point as well. So what we're seeing there is the actual slug to the page, which is the YouTube title. I think we can talk about this in a moment, but I think we're going to change that so that the slugs aren't the video title. Therefore, if you did decide later to change the video titles, we're not going to end up with dead links.
And we know I will. So
yeah. But before we do that, I want to show you some sort of inner workings of the YouTube Google API response. So if you pop back to VS Code and take me into Gatsby Node.
Gatsby Node.
And then probably somewhere down on line, keep going.
Sorry, I'm just doing weird stuff.
What are you doing?
I don't know. This is my problem, as I always have with this keyboard, because it's like I still haven't gotten used to it. So now I'm trying to close the window here. Okay, there we go.
Right. So scroll down.
Where do you want to take me?
So somewhere inside. So on line 23, do a carriage return, and sorry, above the actions.
Okay.
And then just put a console login for video. So I just want to have a look at what that video object is. And if you do npm run build and open up your terminal,
run build.
Run build.
We're having so much fun. Okay, there it is.
Right.
So we have client, etag, ID, snippet.
Yeah. So ID is the thing I want to focus on at the moment. So this is the response from YouTube, and ID is an object that contains a key for kind and video ID. But, and you see in that create node there, we spread the contents of video. And then we define a new ID, which is what we're using Gatsby's helper function create node ID for, which is what Gatsby uses later on in the page template. And so we're actually splatting out the ID that we get back from YouTube and replacing it with a special one that we created. Now I want to use this ID as the slug.
Yep.
And I want to use the ID from YouTube, and we shouldn't need to create an ID ourselves, but just to demonstrate the difference, just make a sort of mental note of what that ID currently looks like, which is, don't do that. Don't do that yet.
No! Sorry.
We just make a mental note of what ID is in your terminal there. It's an object.
Yeah, so that would be video ID.
Yeah.
Video.id. Video ID.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main thing I want you to note here is that ID is an object, whereas if you spin up develop and then take it to graphical.
Yeah, but we have messed it up, so you won't see it because we do ID there.
No, but I just want to show you what the ID is currently looking like.
But I am having, I just had suddenly an ID because this E tag, that is kind of like a digest. So I'm wondering if that should be the content digest, because I think this will change when something changes with the video. The E tag will change if something changes with the video. So then Gatsby would know that it doesn't need to create that node again if the E tag hasn't changed for like incremental builds. Just putting it out there. Keep it in the back of your mind. I'm I feel like there's something there, but okay, I'm gonna.
Well, we would want incremental builds to change if you change the YouTube title. So the content digest needs to contain the snippet title rather than the E tag, because the E tag won't change, and therefore it would never.
Are you sure it won't change? Are you sure it won't change? That would be interesting to check.
I'm not sure, but
yeah. Okay, we're loading up. I'm doing what you say. I will not interrupt. I will try.
Okay, so we can keep part of that query, but just remove the bit in the parentheses where it's got ID and all that.
Well, can I just do all ID? Let's just do all YouTube.
Yeah.
And you want the ID, right?
Yeah, I just want to have a look at it. So you can see there ID is a string. but ID from the response from YouTube was a video. So we now need to somehow preserve the ID from YouTube so that we can get at the video ID and use it before we splat it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So one way to do this, I guess, is let's go up to the top where we've destructured the help functions and remove create node ID because we're not using that anymore.
Are we going to remove this?
Yep. And remove it from the params at the top because we're not going to use it.
There.
Yep. Just to be nice and tidy. And then the ID now, it's going to have to be in a template literal because it needs to be a string.
And
Yeah,
then
you got it.
See if I can do my keyboard.
Yep.
That looks correct. And then we can take away this index.
Yep. And then we're going to make a new key, either above or below ID, and call it slug. And this will be, again, video.id, video.video ID. And it doesn't need to be
A string.
It doesn't need to be a string, but it does need to be slugified. So this moves me on to my next thing. Do you remember when we talked about this last week? So how Gatsby converts any of those values between the curly brackets with the roots API, and it will put in like a dash and whatever. So that uses, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his username, but his name, he's quite a well-known open source.
Well, I can pronounce it because I think he's actually Norwegian.
Oh, okay. How would you say it then?
Sindre Sørhus.
Sindre Sørhus. So we're going to use Slugify, which is the same node module that Gatsby uses under the hood. So it's at Sindre Sørhus /.
So do I need to install it, or is it already here since Gatsby uses it?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll come on to that. Let's get it in first. Make sure you spell it right.
Sindre Sør. I think it's like that, but I'll just double check I have it. And
yeah, that looks right.
Looks right. Okay, and then it's /slugify.
Yeah, and it's not a named import, so it'll just be slugify. So the way, because Gatsby,
but that would be Sindre Sørhus.
Sindre Sørhus.
Yeah.
So because Gatsby uses this under the hood and the way node modules resolve, we haven't installed it directly in our NPM. Hello, Scott.
Brad is also lurking. Which I guess I'm not supposed to show that since you're lurking. Hey. Anywho, okay, so we want to use the slugify on the ID so that we are sure to escape things in case it gives us any weirdness.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish my really nerdy explanation of why we don't need to install it.
This is boring.
Okay, fine. It's the way node modules resolve. Whatever.
Now, what did you want to say? Slugify.
No, I just wanted to say exactly that. Like, we haven't directly installed that npm package in our package.json, but because Gatsby installs it for us and the way node modules resolve, it can still find it in node modules. It's just not in those. So just, I guess that's like a bit of a top tip. If you know you're using a node module that uses another node module and you want direct access to it, you don't have to install it as a dependency yourself. It might not always be advisable to do so, but in this case, we always want to make sure that we're using the same version of Slugify that Gatsby is using, because we're going to effectively be doing the exact same thing that the Roots API is doing. Because we're rolling our own, we need to make sure the two.
So if people are wondering what he's talking about the root API, that's these how Gatsby make these URLs here. Well, now I'm just like messing things up again, but
Thanks, Scott.
That's I don't know what's up. Like, things are just like weirdly doing stuff on my computer. Well, so that is how, I dev service out. Well, that is how Gatsby creates the URLs for the pages that we made last time that are in here, YouTube snippet title, and our title has lots of weird emojis in it, and then using Slugify, or Gatsby uses Slugify under the hood and then kind of removes these weird emojis and all the spaces and stuff that is not allowed in the URL. So that is what the Slugify does. And what Paul is saying is that Gatsby is using Slugify already. So when we want to make these ourselves, then we want to use the same version that Gatsby is using by Sindre. Okay. Are we done on the node import nerding? Yeah.
Although I think what might happen now, did you spin up develop?
Yes.
Did you get any errors?
No.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right, let's have a look at graphical then and see if that slug now exists on any of these nodes.
So I guess we need to do slug. There we go.
Yeah. So there you go. So now what was a video ID is now a slugified video ID.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual YouTube ID for that particular video is TX. The last one I'm looking at would be TX5XPU, blah, blah, but it'd be without the dashes. We can't help that. We're going to have to use the slugified version, but that's fine. I can deal with that.
But you can see here, especially with this one, that actually starts with an underscore. So it removes the underscore, which makes it a better URL.
Yeah. So the next thing is then we can amend our page template. So this is the magical curly brackets where we had previously created it using the snippet title. Now we just want to do youtube.slug because we've added this new node to the YouTube object.
Ooh.
And what we should see, providing this doesn't error, you might need to restart.
We'll see.
But what we should see on that 404 page now is...
We have to restart, I guess.
Yeah. You might want
I think you need to
as well, just in case.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm being all crazy and not cleaning. So we need to get this up here, just so it's for prosperity or posterity. Posterity.
Prosper.
Okay. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, there we have them. So then
they're now our page links, if you like, and they're the slugs. So now if you ever want to change the title in YouTube, it's not going to break any of the links, which I think is probably a safe way to do it. And I think, yeah, just to pull up that point that Brad made last week about SEO, we will use the title in the SEO component when we make it, so it will appear in the meta for each page. We're just not using it as a slug, which is fine. I think we can deal with that.
I think it's even better for SEO if things are in the slug, but I think it's more important that I can change the titles on YouTube. So because I have to test out what kind of titles work best for the YouTube search, which is actually more important for us right now than the Google search to our almost non-existing page.
Or what? We're not getting good traffic at the moment. We haven't got analytics in yet, have we?
We don't have analytics. We need to do that like next time or the week after, because I think I'm going to get Fathom version 3 access pretty soon, so we can check that out.
Okay.
So Fathom is privacy first analytics, and I am very privacy minded sometimes, but we're right here on YouTube, so I'm just going to stop that discussion here because otherwise I will paint myself into a corner.
Do we have any questions from anyone in the chat? I'm just having a look now.
Yes, I have something. So I did this. I got your notes, yeah. So I did it on my own.
Oh, you're revealing the behind the scenes like stuff here. Don't reveal the
secret. We haven't prepared anything.
I just know this.
So
we're just doing this like right off the bat. We don't prepare.
I tried it out, and but I did it with WordPress instead because I already did that in the 100 Days of Gatsby thing. So I instead of slug, I used the date.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess there is a date here, but I couldn't get the YouTube. I was fooling around as I used to try to get it. But there is a date here too, right, in graphical. So I could have done date.
Yeah, there's
but that's actually a problem for us because the only date that shows up is the date I created the video, not the date that we're actually streaming. So that's something we should look at
fine.
if that's possible.
For me, that's fine because I'm not creating a web page. I'm creating a time ship, and I just need a time where we can travel to. So I just need a time. So it doesn't matter, you created it. Yeah, that's good. But the only problem with that is you can't go very far back in time if you're traveling on YouTube, But on WordPress, you can go like back to, Elizabethan England, you can check out Shakespeare. It's old stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm using
maybe
also.
do Wikipedia articles, because then you could like do different dates, and I think Wikipedia has like articles on different dates. So for people who are new to this, Ola is making, like, to learn coding, he's making a Gatsby time ship.
Yes.
So and if you check out the description, I think there's links to Ola's page, and you can sign up for his newsletter on his time ship.
It's underneath my head. It's right there.
Oh yes, it's underneath his head. But we have to keep going, Ola.
Yeah, let's go.
But let's go.
Let's
go. Paul.
Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Yeah, we're back on. Okay. So give me the...
You're back on. You were just like, Ola's talking. I'm like zooming out.
Yeah.
He did not feel validated now, Paul. So
sorry, I did. I just said the beginning bit. I promise.
What? I feel validated. That's wrong. I do.
Okay. So show me the index.js, please, Benedicte.
Do we even have one? Yes, we do, because it says Nattermob.dev.
Yeah, here we go. Right, so what we're going to do now is use a static query from Gatsby. So it's named import. So import static query from Gatsby.
But
with big letters like that?
But why? Why do we use static query?
Use static query.
But why do we do that? I got it to work, but what's the point? Why couldn't I just use my old page query?
Because this isn't a page query now.
And
this is to grab all of those nodes, and then we're going to map over them and do something with them. We'll also need to import GraphQL from Gatsby as well, Benedicte. So just comma GraphQL.
But is this correct? Because it's saying
it looks good.
GraphQL. So to answer Ula's question is that now we're on the index page. So Gatsby doesn't do any magic for us on the index page, because the index page could be whatever we want. So then we need to create our own static queries, because there's no magic in them, to fetch the content we actually want on our front page.
But my page query worked on my index.
Yeah, but then you get the index page as the query result.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can query the page, but you can't query then other pages or other nodes.
Yeah, I mean, to show, I guess, to show you what we're going to be doing, Ola, is Benedicte, if you jump over to graphical, what we're going to be doing is pretty much that. So we're going to query all of the YouTube videos and return, I guess it will be the slug snippet title. In fact, if we put that in graphical now, we can see what we would expect to return. We don't need the ID for this bit. It's a bit confusing. You can turn ID off.
ID off, and then we could also do maybe the default.
Yeah, you could do that.
Thumbnail.
Yeah. So that will give us a list of, I think it's only going to be 2 because we've limited it to the max results at the moment, but that's fine. But so this will give us all of the YouTube nodes, which we can then map over and then return some HTML for on the index page. And there is another little trick that we're going to do, which is to implement Gatsby.
But I guess but do we have to see this is Ola's question though. Do we have to have this useStaticQuery, or could we just do this as they are doing here in the component name?
Well, you could, but then you'd have to put that component on the index page to return it. But I guess I would probably lean on our old chum, Kent C. Dodds, and AHA, which is avoid hasty abstraction. So we don't know what this is going to be yet. So rather than create another component, We can put it in the index page for now, make sure that the query works, make sure that we can navigate. And then later, if we decide actually we want that list of links to be on multiple places around the site, then we could turn it into a component and reuse it. But as it stands, we're only using it once. So it's extra overhead to create a component to do something that you can already do in the component, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, but I thought maybe we could just like add it here, right? But
yeah, that's well, we'll just yeah, but then we're not going to be using the static query.
I don't want you to do it. I just wanted to hear why.
Yeah. Acquire the tasty abstractions. Is that what you're doing?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to write some code?
Yes. Let's not debate this anymore, and we'll see. We're code, and then we can debate it afterwards.
Okay. Fine. Right. So,
where do you want? What do you want me to do
up
now?
the top before the return.
Here.
Yep. And then we're going to do const videos equals useStaticQuery, open close parentheses, and in there you want to do GraphQL, and then open and close a backtick.
This just weirds me out, like that you can do it like this. But yes.
Yeah. And then back over to graphical. And in the middle panel, we want to copy all. Well, not the graph. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine. Do it that way.
You're fine.
Fine, whatever you want. And then just to see if it's working, do a console log and log out videos, and then jump over to the index page and open up your developer tools to see if we've got a log.
Okay. We are getting a visit from the pirate princess.
That is the Nattermob.dev we're looking at there, Benedict.
Oh, sorry. So let's do the index page, inspect, console. And we have an object with all YouTube videos, and it's working.
Good. So we've got all of those queries. Now, do you want to do destructuring, or do we want to do you want to leave it as it is? Hello, Lillian.
Hello.
Let's do us big then. Oh, no, that was the wrong one. Whoa,
you must look at the camera. Lillian, hello.
Du måste säga det.
Hello.
Say hi då. Say hello.
Hello.
Det hade vi kunnat ställa. Okay.
Lillian.
Hello.
She can't hear you, Ola, because you're in my ears.
Ja, men da må du si det jeg sier. Scott sier hei.
Scott sier hei. Ok, det holder, vennen. Må si ha det.
Hi. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, up i senga.
I realised in all of the excitement, Benedicte, we've skipped a step.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we have to go back to graphical.
I tricked
you. And close that code explorer because it's yeah, here we go. Right, so maybe under the slug in the query there, you'll have to type this, I'm afraid. And we're going to use Gatsby path, which is
how is that?
So Gatsby path, there we go, and it's a function. So parentheses. Okay. And then inside the parentheses, we're going to do file path, and the string will be so be colon string. Oh, sorry, open close.
Okay.
Forward slash open and close curly braces, and then inside the curly braces is the same magical query that we used for the file. So it will be youtube.slug. So this will give us a Gatsby path to every YouTube.
Because you're
page.
saying the same as we've used here when we're creating our pages.
So
So we don't have to do this ourselves. I didn't know this. This is totally new to me.
Wait,
Okay.
top tip finally.
Okay, so this is our because then we get the Gatsby path, which is like basically the same, but if something changes, then wow.
So if we were to rename things or whatever, like, well, you'd obviously need to change the static query to use the new, like, what do they call it? Collection route.
Yeah.
But it's effectively the same thing. I wanted to keep the syntax the same between the page template file name and the Gatsby path, which is just this youtube.slug. So just copy that one line and pop it back into your static query in index. And
it's hard to code with these big letters. Okay.
And then just to double check, just make sure that comes out in the log in, yeah.
Let's see. Slug Gatsby path snippet. Cool.
Yeah. So the reason that's important is because we're going to use that Gatsby path value on the Gatsby link component, which will allow it to navigate. I forget.
But do we need this slug then? Because are we going to use the slug at all? If we're using the Gatsby path.
Oh, that's a good point. We are going to use the slug, aren't we? Maybe we don't need that Gatsby path. Why did I put it in? All right. Well, let's try it with the slug.
No, but I was thinking instead of using slug, we can get, but just keep on going and we'll figure it out. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, somewhere around there, maybe underneath that, we can do, yep. And then we'll do videos dot all YouTube dot nodes dot map.
So videos.
All YouTube. Oh, videos dot
data.
No. Where you've got videos dot map.
Oh, sorry. I was in the wrong place. Okay, video all YouTube. Dot map. No video.
YouTube dot nodes dot map. There we go. Right, and then
Oh, no. Okay.
Video, and we might as well put an index in as well because we're going to make a list. So React will throw a warning because it's not unique.
Yep. Oh, we can use the slug.
Yeah, okay, we could do that.
Now we have a use for the slug. That's making dinner.
And actually, before we go too much further, put a UL around, or put this inside a UL because we're going to return an LI, so we need an HTML UL.
Well, let's just do this one so that we are actually video snippet title. You can actually see it.
Yeah.
And then we want to put all of that inside of UL, which is a list element in HTML. Ah, look at that. Beautiful.
There we go.
See, I need to name this something's different because they're all called the same, just like session 4, session 2. So we need to. Okay.
So I guess we want to, inside the LI, we want to use a link from Gatsby. So you can import that at the top. Yeah. And then, yeah, put that inside a link. And then the Gatsby link accepts a 2 rather than a href. And this will be, it's either going to be the slug or the Gatsby path.
Gatsby path. But I like that to use, because if you change, like the slug might stay the same, but we might, like the file path might become something else. So I think it's nice that they are separate. But then we can use the key can be the slug because we will only have videos in this list. So we know that we won't have any, well, the slug will be unique, but then maybe if we do something weird with the Gatsby path, we put it inside like /videos. We want to put something more, then we could still use this value and it's being separate from this. So I like us to both use.
Okay. All right.
Both use. I can't even speak English. I need to drink some more.
So there's 2 things we've got to change quickly.
We're being too nerdy today. We're losing viewers.
Well, we've got plenty of time to chat after we get this working, I guess. There's
I'm just
two
kidding.
things we need to change on that. The key needs to go on the li, not the link.
Oh yeah,
that's
true.
The first element. And
Thank you.
the 2 on that Gatsby path, I'm pretty sure that's going to need to be in a template literal and start with a / because 2.
Yeah. I think that they start with a /. Look at that. Gatsby path starts with a /.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's why I'm using Gatsby path, not slug.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yes.
Maybe I didn't finish that when I was
Look
writing.
at that.
Why did
Look
I
at
put
that.
it in? Does it work?
Yes.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
It works.
All right.
Okay,
so
okay. I want to mess you up again, Paul. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I am ready for it,
do.
Ula. Okay.
Yeah. So, so I put here. If you, Benedicte, if you can go a little bit up, maybe yes, a little bit up. No, yeah, right there.
Yes, I know where you want to go with this.
Oh, you can read my mind. Okay, do it then.
Yes.
Do it.
You want it to be
Do it
treasure.
now.
So Ula likes to he likes to make stories with his code. So instead of having this like weird thing, he would like it to be treasures so that he can do treasures and then map, because then it's a treasure map.
no S. Don't put the S.
You've ruined
because
it. Over the S.
We have
Treasures
to have
map.
treasures, because then
No.
one video is a treasure.
No, you don't have to do that. You can just have treasure.map.
Okay.
And videos are, obviously treasures. So,
Obviously.
yeah.
Actually, we are calling these voyages. So maybe it should be a voyage.
Okay.
Because a voyage is a treasure. Now Paul is like, no, this makes no sense. But I'm gonna give you the
Fine, we can do
treasure.
the voice. I was going to say, actually, there's another way to do this if you wanted to, Ula. Like a way to, rather than creating that new constant. Hey, Rich.
Yoo-hoo!
We could destructure it. So we could do.
Well, I was going to suggest we destructure and then alias.
Yes, we can do const, and then we can do videos, and then I guess another destructure, which would then be all YouTube.
We
and
can
then
do all of this at the top, so we don't need any constant.
nodes, and then we want to alias that nodes treasure.
Then, you can, yeah, I think that will work as well.
But maybe not. And that would be from video, so of course we shouldn't bring this in there. Now we're just having fun.
Yo.
Okay, so we're saying that should work then.
Yo. What's up?
Oleg's having fun.
How's it going?
Okay, so it looks like that it's still working.
And you want to do
Or it's
the
not.
Ignoring the chat.
Okay, we're not gonna. So I just want to say that we have now shown that it works, Paul, but I have found that people really have a problem with reading this when it's like that many destructures. So I think we should just keep it like that. That is a better.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So Rich is saying that you have a profesh setup now, Paul.
Yeah, mate. As of well, I was saying to Benedicte, I got my haircut, and then I was like, I got my camera, and then I was like, I can't look like this with bad hair on 4K. So I had to go get my haircut, and then just before the stream, I spilled beer all over my top. So like, I've been like trying to dry it out because you can see it all in 4K. It's a nightmare.
We're so professional over here. And then Meltwater is saying that, where's your hat? Well, he's showing off his newly cut hair.
Yeah.
Benedicte said I look like a schoolboy with my new haircut.
No, absolutely not. No, Paul.
But then
You
I
look
saw the
great.
gray in his hair, so obviously he's not a schoolboy.
You
Hey,
look
whoa,
great.
man, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if it still works. Our treasures work. I'm gonna give you that, Ula. But maybe we should get some more links in here because now we only have 2.
Mm.
And then also let's put a div around here and like center it before I go crazy.
You and your inline styles.
Margin 0, auto, and then we'll do a padding
Oh,
of 1M. Are you liking this, Paul?
it's wild.
Oh, why is it not working? Why is my margin not working? Oh, it's auto 0. Is it?
Top and bottom, left and right. Yeah, top and bottom 0, left and right it's because it's a UL, right? Or it needs a width, or one or the other. Stick our old chum border 1px solid red on so we can see what we're dealing with. The debug method.
Margin. Oh yeah, I need to max out. I might need to max width, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I have not prepared, if anybody is wondering about that. I think I did 800 px on the other one, so there we go. I mean, it's a little bit nicer, a little bit. Let's do 600.
What did you do for the individual YouTube pages? What widths were they? I can't remember. Since we're tinkering.
They're 800.
800. Okay.
So I guess I should just do the same. We should just do the same with the main and everything. Okay, this is not why people are here to watch, but I just can't not do it. I'm sorry. We were like, we're going to get so much more done today because we're not going to be bantering. And I'm like, bantering.
What? The time's blown. Like 43 minutes. Oh, I'll tell you what else we need to do, Benedicte. Since we're in, do you want to go back to the page template? Let's put a backlink in as well so we can actually navigate back from the
that's a good one. That's a good one.
So we'll need to import link from Gatsby.
I think it will do it automatically for me.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry. Woo. Okay. Now we're coming up on the hour because I am not focused at all. So we want to do I can't go. What did I do? Am I not allowed to have characters in here?
You could turn it into a string, I guess. Put it. Oh, yeah. All right. There we go.
Usually I search for ASCII arrow. Then I copy this one. Well, I'm going to mute you.
Hi.
Would we also need to give it an area label as well, though? Because would we need to do some sort of screen reader thing? Because if it's an ASCII arrow, what's that?
Is it alt? Is it alt or is it not?
No, I think it would be area label, wouldn't it?
Back to home.
Yeah, use it where a text label is not visible on screen. So area-label would probably do it. Yeah, that's it. There we go.
And then I want to style it so that it doesn't have an underline, but let's
stop it with your inline styles.
Then we don't need an area label.
Okay, fine.
Okay. We have a list. We can move. Woo-hoo-hoo, boom, boom, boom.
So now we probably want to amend.
Back and forth. Okay, I'm focused.
Stay focused. Now we want to return a few more results, right? Because we've only got 2, so we can update the max results in Gatsby node for the YouTube query.
Yes, but should we first show the image like we do here?
We can do, but you're going to get upset with the styling again, aren't you?
Never. We'll just do BR here then, so I won't get. Oh, and then I think it was default, wasn't it?
For the small one, I think. Is that what you queried?
Video thumbnails.
Yeah. And
Snippet.
I guess it's video.snippet.title as well.
I should stop doing things quickly because it never turns out to be quickly, does it?
And the title.
How is the title? Oh.
Because you've got that for the alt, which would have to be video. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's super pretty. I won't, I promise. It's so hard. Okay. Okay.
That looks quite good. It looks like websites from yesteryear, when all we had was lists, tables, and Times New Roman.
And some BRs.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. But we wanted more results, right? So
More
let's
results,
do. So let's do 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to restart because we changed Gatsby node. I think like the Gatsby kind of dev system is working a lot better. Somebody is saying time to add styled components then. We will be adding styles pretty soon because otherwise I will go crazy. But I think we're going to do theme UI because that's what Paul enjoys the most. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Snooty is in the house. Norwegians.
They're not. Are you joking?
Meltwater is saying vanilla extract would be nice. New CSS system.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do like several streams where we do it in theme UI and then we do it in style component and then we do it in vanilla extract. I mean, we're going to be doing this for a year at least, right, Paul? So we have time. But so we have a problem here because this is not a Nattermob stream.
You've got a PAL stream.
And neither POW stream.
Okay.
So
we can use a query on the YouTube API using if you put it under the type maybe, and it's Q.
Yeah. Oh, just Q.
Yeah, and that's the query, which is effectively a filter. Although I'm not 100% sure this will work, but if we did hashtag Nattermob, this should filter out only videos. It might, well, try that, but I think it might be hashtag Nattermob with a capital N. Is that what you've used in the title? I'm not sure if it's case sensitive.
So
it didn't restart. It's saying it needs to restart.
I can say what I did in my time machine. I passed in parameters. I passed in parameters into the, so I call it, all VP posts. So it would be at the top. Is that a way to do it?
No, it's because so that's a different kind of API to work with. So your VP API needs different things than the YouTube API. So to get YouTube to do any filtering, we need to do this Q:.
Are you talking about the static query versus page query thing again? The GraphQL query?
I'm not sure. Am I? I don't know. I don't know.
He is talking about what he did with his WordPress when he was querying WordPress. Well, it looks like we're getting. So you're saying I need to do Natter?
Try it with it.
Do it like perfectly?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is case sensitive or not. I mean, I did try this and I got strange results. There are a couple of other things we can try, but maybe that's for another time because we're nearing the end. But that should filter out almost all of the non-Nattermob videos. But how many should there be? 4, 5? How many have you got? Nattermob,
yeah, something like that. Yeah. No.
Still, yeah. So that's right. So I think it matches something else in there
with me, Queen Ray, and the Nattermob. Oh, this is
go.
wrong. Like I probably. So there's something wrong with I've managed to like copy paste something over and get the wrong description in there. So I will have to fix that after this stream, I guess.
Okay, so if you removed Nattermob Pirates from that PAL description, we should only get a list of Nattermob videos on the Nattermob site, which means it does work, which is good. It's what we want, right? Just the Nattermob ones from your YouTube channel.
Every Sunday. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm trying to fix it right away, of course, because.
All right, well, Ola, why don't you ask your question again? Talk me through it. And do you want to hide your screen, Benedicte, in case you accidentally reveal your credit card details again or something?
I have never done that. I have never done that.
That doesn't matter.
No, but I think I fixed it. So if we run it again,
good. Yeah, do it.
If YouTube might be caching things, but if they don't, then it should be.
Have you done a clean on your Gatsby before you ran it again?
No.
Oh
God. Like you thought it would be more structured with fewer people, but
it's just as chaotic.
But you can talk, even though you can talk. I can just make my screen smaller, I guess.
Well, yeah, Ola, what was your
then it's only me.
What were you?
I think you're onto something. So, can I actually pass parameters into this newfangled fancy pants query that you're using here? I know it's not new, but yeah.
So that's the key difference between the page query. Well, hang on. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the YouTube search, or are we talking about
let's say I wanted to do this on the YouTube search, and could I do this? Could I do this here in this what you call it, something query? useStaticQuery?
Okay, so
we're not in the static query now. We are now in the Gatsby nodes. We are. So you are using a plugin that like creates the pages for you, and then you query with parameters on your pages and in your static queries. But this is before that. We are now doing it ourselves. We're going to YouTube. We're getting the YouTubes and we're making them into nodes. So it's like in a different place in the process.
So node to parameters.
Well, so this is.
It depends because this is. Sorry.
But let Paul say that.
So this is the key difference between useStaticQuery and a page query.
Yes.
So a page query can have variables, and we define them with the $, and then we type them, and then we pass them through. A static query can't have parameters because it's a static query. That's why it's called static query, and page query is more dynamic, which is why you can reuse it on a page template. But our list in our index is a static query, and it just returns the results. So we can't really do much with it. We can filter on it with GraphQL, but we can't pass anything into it.
You can filter. So that's what I'm actually doing here, kind of. So you're just filtering somewhere else.
Yeah, you could use GraphQL to filter. If you did all pages or all YouTube videos, and you could be like ID not equal to something, or title not equal to something, or you can sort GraphQL.
So
we could have done something like that, because on this stream the Nattermob is in the description and not in the title. So we could do like a first query with the YouTube API and only get the ones with Nattermob somewhere, and then we could do a filter in our static query where we're asking to just include the ones that have Nattermob in the title.
Maybe because as far as GraphQL is concerned, it's a string, and I'm not sure if we can say does the string contain, if that makes sense.
So it looks like it looks like YouTube is caching things. So let's be happy with this for now, and then I think until next Friday this one will be removed from our list.
Okay, well that's good enough. I mean, now we've got a page full of videos that you can watch. I mean, I guess the only thing we don't have at the moment is a way to link from the individual page to the actual YouTube video.
Yeah, so should we do that then?
Yeah, I think so. Like if we just go back to graphical and let's see if we can work out what the actual YouTube URL would be.
I think it would be the ID. So if we get the ID back, I think it would be the ID after, because if you go to an actual YouTube video,
so it'd be watch query v equals and then the ID. So I'm just looking at the URL on the stream now.
Yeah, but I don't think we have to do all of that, because if you look at the share one, but
Okay, so we could do an href to youtube.be and then / and then just do ID.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Sorry, I was all because I heard I opened that video and I heard our stream like 30 seconds after. So I was like, am I talking on top of you? But that was the stream. So I was like, oh, confused.
That was pulled from 5
but
seconds
I also have to say that we have a Norwegian in the house because this is a Norwegian tweet. No, a chat message. So theme UI is new. But it's not as new as the other thing, the vanilla extract thing that the other guy was talking about. So there's always new things coming out, right?
Yeah, vanilla
so that is cool.
Is reasonably unique. Theme UI is a couple of years up. Well, Theme UI is based on System UI, and I think System UI was created in 2017, which was around the same time 3.1 did Glamour.
Retirement age.
When styled components, I might be wrong on Theme UI, but styled components in 3.1's Glamour were 2017. They were pretty much created around the same month, I think. But System UI might have come later, and then Theme UI came quite a bit later.
But I heard about Theme UI like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear about it until I think 2019 when I first started doing Gatsby stuff, because Brent Jackson, who wrote System UI and then Theme UI, is one of Gatsby's engineers. And so when I was learning Gatsby and themes, that just seemed like a logical choice. But I guess there are some differences between Theme UI and styled components and vanilla extracts, where they're kind of CSS and JS libraries, whereas Theme UI is a CSS and JS library plus a design system with constraints, which is the reason I like to use it, because on bigger projects, sometimes constraints are handy, but there's reasons why you shouldn't necessarily use some CSS values on some CSS properties on a big project, because any old engineer can go in and whack a style on something and it will kind of be off brand.
Oh.
Curly brackets.
Yeah.
And with Theme UI, it kind of almost prevents you from doing that, which some people don't like, but if you learn to sort of live with it, then do you want to put a href underscore target blank on that? And I don't think you want to use link. You want to use an anchor, because link is an internal thing.
Yeah, but it looked like that worked.
Yeah, link. So we want to change that link to an anchor, just an A.
Yeah, but it looked like it worked even though I used the link, which I found interesting. There we go. And I had to add ID down here because we didn't have it in our query. And when you don't have it in your query, it's not available on the data you're getting in. So we need to style this. We just have to. It looks like it's working, and we want a target blank, right?
Yeah, might as well.
It's like it's underscore blank, isn't it?
Yep.
There we go. And now I get to hear myself. No, this is the next one, so I don't. So
wait,
we are live in 6 days, people. Yeah, I've done it for the next one. So for everyone who's new, that didn't see the beginning of this, we are getting more structured and systematized. So in the description, you will find a link to the newsletter for the stream, so you can get notified about new streams, or you can just hit that bell and get a reminder from YouTube. That never works, but so sign up for the newsletter. And we got some more Norwegians in the house. We knew already Snooty is Norwegians, but they are now working on a big campaign that launches in Norway every summer, and it's the Sommerles, which is a reading campaign for children during the summer. I think all the libraries in Norway are a part of that, and Snooty are the people behind it. So that is super cool. Okay. I'm just going to pop in something.
The kids, they get prizes for reading from the librarians. I've seen it. They're like, ooh. So it's really good.
Okay.
That looks good. That looks fine, I think.
Maybe add a little A around the image as well, because that is usually, where people
click. Yeah.
click. Yeah.
We're going to worry about doing no referrers and no openers and things. We don't need to worry about that for the moment, do we?
Yeah. I mean, we're on we're on YouTube, so like we're already, not the best for privacy, is it? There we go. So we now we can go back. We have this beautiful list. I can't even look at it. And then you can choose the videos and you get all the information. And then we now have a view on YouTube, or you can click on that on YouTube, and we will be doing styling at some point. But I now see what I didn't add here is the padding 1M. I would be an awful user of this, like what you see is what you get kind of CMSs. I would like add on styles in the little text box there. I would be one of those people to make it so that I like it's the way I want it. Okay.
Well, that's a pretty functional site, I think. I wonder if next week we could either do SEO or we could do Gatsby plugin image to make what we've got a little bit more performant. I don't know if we want to. Well, I guess if we do SEO, it can start being discovered, can't it? And then eventually, when we make this look nice, Google will have already, indexed the pages and things. That normally takes a little while.
Maybe we should do the SEO first, and then we can do some styling, and then we can do the images nicely. And then we also have to figure out how we can get my channel ID. I guess we could just hard code it, because it would be nice if this was, a link to my channel. And then it would also be nice if we got all the description, because now we're just getting a little bit of the description. Yeah.
So this, if you just jump back to Gatsby Node, so there's the API that we're using is
it's a search.
Yeah, so we're using search list, and then you see that key for part. It says snippet. So that is a way to tell the search list what we want. There are a couple of other parameters that YouTube offers, but they don't work with the search list. So you can do, I think you can do like YouTube .channel.list, and then we can do it another way. And then when with the part, we can pass in additional params. So it's not just snippet, it would be like snippet and a number of other things. So maybe we could have a look at that to see what else we can get. But I guess snippet,
because I'm thinking it either would be something like that, or like for some APIs, you then have to like hit the API for each video ID to get like all of the information. Sometimes APIs are like that. So I guess we have to look at how this API works. And you were right, I need the no refer on there so it doesn't complain.
I mean, we can have a look into the YouTube API a bit more. I mean, I guess we could do a whole recursive thing where we do the search, grab all of the IDs, and then use each individual ID to make a second, more detailed lookup. But it just means then it could potentially slow down our build time, because we'd actually have to make 30 or 40 individual API calls. And this is one of those classic problems when like Gatsby starts to slow down. It's not because Gatsby's slow, it's because you're doing a million things in the build step. So we want to try. So
it would be better if we could get all that info in one kind of ask to the API.
Which I think is what the search list is for. It's like a quick way to get, 80% of the information that you'll need to surface it. And also, don't forget, like YouTube on Google, all of their APIs in general, like they're good. They give you some of the stuff, but let's face it, like they don't want you pulling their information and putting it on your site. They want you to go to their site so that they can market to you with persuasive messages by their sponsors. It's
exactly. But that is why we want it here, because I'm writing out really nice, descriptions, and I want it all here so that people can land on our page when they search for things. But And I will make these more descriptive, these titles, so that they're actually what we're doing in the same way as I've done on these like thumbnails here, creating pages from sourced YouTube videos. I just have to make some proper titles that are short and concise. But it's not as easy as
I've
it
just
sounds.
thought of another potential forecast one as well. Sorry to throw it out there, but like we could quite easily embed the YouTube video in the site so that users could watch them directly on Nattermob and not go to YouTube. But then is that counterintuitive? Because if we can't get the full comments and details, then a user would never see them unless they actually visited YouTube. Swings and roundabouts. I mean, what is our,
and
what is
also
our
I also know that if as soon as we load the YouTube kind of player onto the page here, then things will be slower on the page, and it would also start tracking things that happen on our page. There's some like things around that. While if people land on this page, like YouTube won't know that you're on this page until you click view on YouTube, and then they start tracking you kind of. So there's like different, and it will be faster and everything, but we'll have to think about that. But we have now been able to source everything, and we're showing an index, and we got the pages. And I think for people watching, I mean, this could be done for any content you have, instead of taking content and copy pasting it into either Markdown files or into some kind of content management system. You could just get the original content and put it on your site with Gatsby Node, the Gatsby Nodes API, which I think is super cool. It's like one of the best features of Gatsby, that you can just source data from everywhere and then merge it together and then have like this unified front in the graphical layer of Gatsby. Yeah, that was my sales pitch.
I didn't want to interrupt. Like...
Brad, are you watching?
Don't forget, unsponsored, unfiltered.
Yeah. So, by the way, we're not sponsored. But so this is
unfiltered.
Yeah, that kind of fell out of. Yeah, we used to have that on the thumbnails, but there's so much on the thumbnails now that I couldn't get that in. And as you can see, last video we had Ward from Gatsby on the show, which was super nice. Yeah, I think that was a good one. So watch that, people. Okay, I think we can wrap up. Do we want to plug some things before I do my like coding summary? I can like try and think of what I want to say for that summary while you plug things.
I mean, I haven't got anything
pirates
to plug. The only thing is just a little bit of a continuation from last week, which was Leonard's PR to fix the hot reload issue with theme UI and Gatsby. That has now been released in whatever the latest version of Gatsby was, 3.2, 3 point something or other. Oh God, I'm not prepared at all. Anyway, the latest version of Gatsby has the fix for theme UI, so hot reloading will work as it always did.
You must find it, Paul. You must find it. I can do mine, and then you have to.
Okay, you do yours. I'll find the link.
You must show us. Okay. So I'm working on this book with Lillian. Do you recognize this, Paul?
Oh, sorry, I was looking for a link. Would you? Yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you know what that is?
It's a map of somewhere, a drawing of something.
Treasures.
No, it's not.
I'm guessing.
Well, I don't know.
This is London Bridge 1554, drawn by a Dutch artist.
Oh right. What you suggesting that I was knocking around in 1554?
I don't know.
How would I know?
Haven't you been to London?
What, so, in 1554, you would have gone by boat, I imagine.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm working on this book here with Lillian that you saw earlier with the hat here.
Yep.
I need to. Oh my God. I need to get past some stuff here. Here you go. Ruby's time shape. And it's inspired by her drawings, and I'm using her drawings, and it's also inspired by her stories. So it starts out with this cheat sheet here. I'm doing it on email. So it's for programming on paper with your kids. So this is a 3-step cheat sheet to get started programming with kids, preschoolers and everything. And then it's here. I'm going to try to share my screen. Share screen. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Screen. No. Sorry. There you go. Screen. Share. Are you seeing that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put your name in here, like for example, Ola. And this is very good. Ola, that's very good. And then you push subscribe. And on the back end here, it looks like it's ConvertKit, but it's not. It's not. I'm just gathering up people's email addresses here and sending it out manually. So, oh, sorry about that. I'll stop sharing my screen. I'm sending out the emails and manually to people. So, please sign up. We need audience. It's much more fun if you can send it out. So we have 2 people signed up. One in the States and one in Denmark. The guy in Denmark, he works at Lego. The guys making little blocks. Yeah, so that's my plug.
Okay.
Just to finish my
plug then.
I'm going to put a little link in now. It was Gatsby release 3.4 with the theme UI fast refresh, among other things. There's a link in the chat. On to you, Benedicte. Sorry.
No, you must show the link.
I put it in the chat.
No, you don't.
Well,
you must show it
chat?
on screen.
Like, we can't have links in the chat, so it's not
No,
coming
show
up.
it.
You can do. Okay, I can see it now. I'll show it for you.
Yes. Yes.
He doesn't want to. Like, he doesn't.
Nobody
share his screen.
Let's do it.
Here.
All right.
Where is it though? Where is your theme UI?
The last one. Better, faster, refresh. It's
there we go.
Yeah.
With theme UI and Shakrite. Woo! Good work. So today, again, I'm gonna promote the Nattermob newsletter, Gatsby Deep Dives with Queen Raae, and the Nattermob Pirates newsletter, and you can get notified about the streams. And the link is in the description below. Very Gatsby on brand plugs today. Okay.
What about
I'm gonna try and summarize.
Pow.
Well, I only get 1 plug. Well, I can do 2
You can have
plugs.
multiple plugs. You're the queen. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The queen. And of course, you need to check out, my baby Pow, the Privacy First Menstrual Cycle Journal. Use pow.app. Okay. So what did we do today? We did an index page, an archive page, a home page, what's to say? I was trying to say Norwegian saying now, which is "Kjært barn har mange navn." I don't know the Norwegian or the English translation. So anyway, so this would probably be called then like an archive component if we made it into a component, or the index page, because it is like the first page or the home page. And on here, we list up all our Gatsby YouTube nodes. And then when you click on it, you get to the YouTube node page that we created last video. And you can even go back, and then back. And we did that with our code in the Gatsby node. We added a proper slug to the node so that we have some unified way of finding the node. So that would be the part that is now up here instead of having the title that we had before, because when I changed the title, then the URL for the video would change. So we now have the ID as the slug. And that's pretty much all we added in the Gatsby node. Then we went to our index page. We did a static query for all the YouTube's nodes. And then we called them treasure and we mapped over them. And for each video we listed it out. And here we also use a fancy thing, Gatsby path, which I think you can see. It's a special way, a special kind of query. Is this an argument parameter? I don't know. So we actually get a file path that we can then use in our link down below here, video Gatsby path. And then we also use the slug as a key, so React doesn't get mad at us for mapping over something without a key. And then these link up to the YouTube now, YouTube.slug. Before we had snippet dash that underscore title. Now we have YouTube slug that uses the Gatsby route API, file system route API. They need to come up with a better name. Gatsby file system route
Parrot
API.
pages, curly roots.
Parrot page, yeah, the parrot pages. Ola, show the parrots if you have them. The parrot pages, and in there, what we did was just adding this like backlink, and then we also used the ID, the YouTube ID that we now get to be able to link up to YouTube. I think that's it.
Yeah, perfect. Well summarized.
It was like nothing, and we spent like an hour and 15 minutes today. But people are still hanging around. I am impressed with people's stamina, and Ola is now showing off the parrot pages. As you can see, there are the curly brackets are parrots, which fits with our pirate theme. Okay, Ola, you want to do the outro? We can't hear you.
Hey, we have a question. We have a question.
How are you feeling about the American route pronunciation?
The thing is, I've said it so many times, and if I know it's complicated, but just try and remember it like this: the file system is the root API. They're two separate things. That's how I try and get my head around it.
Well, I think he's actually talking about the pronunciation. Like you wouldn't say route, you would say root, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because his Snooty is he's Norwegian, but we say that she's Norwegian now, but she's from England.
No, no, not England.
No,
you racist.
Ola, where is she from?
Wales.
Wales. Sorry.
I
The
guess
UK.
they all look the same to you, don't they?
The UK. She's from the UK. And it turns out that he has been told off for saying it wrong inside the family.
Wales.
I got it right. Okay. Outro, Ola.
This has been another unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around Gatsby Islands with Gatsby deep diving queen Ray and the Nattermob pirates Paul the navigator.
That's right,
yeah. And we actually had some live pirates in the chat too, you know? We had Rich from the deep, dangerous woods of Sweden and his cat Alfie, yes, and Scott without his cat, his nameless cat. Yeah,
Boris is one of them. I know that.
What?
Yeah.
Boris is one of Scott's cats.
Boris. Yeah, there is Putin. That's great. Okay. See you around.
Okay, I'll do the royal wave.
Keep waving. Keep waving.